When the Cleveland Cavaliers signed Sam Merrill late last season to a 3-year deal, the thought process was pretty clear. The team needed perimeter spacing, and Merrill, at least at the G League level, had shown the ability to take over games with his shooting. After all, we are talking about a player who knocked down over 44.1% of his triples with the Cleveland Charge last season, finishing with 86 total made threes in 22 games. They likely knew that the signing wasn't going to yield instant results, as he only saw the floor for 5 games for the Cavs last season. This signing was all about the future and getting the opportunity to evaluate Merrill this offseason. This is pretty evident given the fact that his salary for both this upcoming season and next are non-guaranteed. But with that said, if they don't like what they see, they can cut ties fairly easily. But I'm guessing they are absolutely loving what they are seeing from him so far. Through 3 Summer League games, all starts, Merrill has averaged 18.7 points while knocking down a blistering 48.4% of his 3-point attempts. His 15 total triples made lead the field through 3 games as of recording this video. Perhaps the most impressive part of this is the way that he is taking these shots. Whether it is off screens,
and make it look effortless. His confidence kicks in. Like I say, he's got a big personality, and I think he'll be a crowd favorite.
Merrill doesn't have an issue making shots.
pulling up,
For those role players that can defend and stop people from scoring. But if you got it,
They got a 4-on-2. That man is
or spotting up in the corners waiting for the ball to find him, he can knock it down.
Trying to prove they can do all of the things besides score to stick in the NBA. Merrill.
The perimeter spacing that he provides could be an asset to a team that finished last season ranked 19th in triples made at 11.6 per game and 12th in 3-point percentage at 36.7%. He provides legitimate gravity that defenses would no doubt have to respect. This could open up the floor for Cleveland's ball handlers when they are attempting to drive inside and could also help free up space for the front court inside. The problem is, Merrill is fighting an uphill battle for a rotation spot thanks to the additions of Max Strus, Georges Niang, and Ty Jerome. Add those to a guard rotation already featuring Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Karis LeVert, Ricky Rubio, and to a lesser extent Isaac Okoro, and the opportunities for Merrill currently look slim to none. He could have a stellar showing in the preseason as well and could still be on the outside looking in. That's a rough spot to be in, but Merrill has been here before. Garland, Mitchell, LeVert, Strus, and Niang are all rotational locks. Dean Wade will likely get an opportunity too. This means Merrill's best bet to secure a role is to beat out one of Rubio, Okoro, and possibly Jerome. Sounds like a tall order, right? Well, it might not be. This could all boil down to 2 skills in my opinion: perimeter shooting and defense. As of right now, Okoro is by far the best perimeter defender of this group, but he is still developing as a shooter. He is making progress as evidenced by the fact that he has completed 44.1% of his triples since January 1st, which is very encouraging, but it also came on a volume of just 2.6 attempts per game. His standing in the rotation seems solid, but it is not necessarily locked in. Rubio's best skill remains his ability to play make. He ranked 4th on the team in assists per game this past season at 3.5 helpers per outing, but just didn't impact the game the way he had before he had suffered his most recent injury. While his game has never been predicated off of hyper athleticism, he was operating at a noticeably different pace than he once did. Combine this with the fact that he isn't a noted shooter or defender, and it becomes easier to make a case for him not making the opening night rotation. Ty Jerome is the wild card here. He has shown the ability to make plays for others and can knock down the long ball. He is by no means a dependable defender though, and primarily suits up at guard. He doesn't give you as much positional versatility as Okoro and isn't as experienced a floor general as Rubio. His path to rotation minutes might be easier than Merrill's, but it is far from a given. In order for Merrill to become a rotational piece for this team, he must prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he can not only carry his sharp-shooting ways over to the NBA level, but blend it with impactful enough defense as well. He is off to a great start, and if this type of play continues, he will make it hard for JB Bickerstaff not to play him or at least give him a real opportunity at some point.